So this is interesting. Came across this the other day. I was having a discussion with a guy who believes in the evening to evening Sabbath time frame of when the day starts. And as I was having this debate, the father kind of showed me something interesting that kind of proves the evening time period of a day starting to be wrong. And it's called the day dawning, right? So the day begins at daybreak. It's 6 a.m. The day dawning. It's all throughout Scripture. Do a word search for that, and you'll see. So what he showed me was you can use the Messiah's crucifixion timestamps they give, because it's not arbitrary that he gave the timestamps of the hours of when each thing happened. That wasn't just happenstance. He gave the timestamps for a reason. So we'll just establish that there's a group of people out there that believe the day starts in evening. And it's because they're misunderstanding Genesis 1 of when he created a day. Because there was day he created, then evening, then morning, then the next day. You see how this works? So we'll get into this. So during the crucifixion, there was darkness from the 6th hour to the 9th hour, right? So if you look at Matthew 27:46, it says, in the 9th hour, Yeshua cried with a loud voice. I'm not going to try to pronounce this in Hebrew, but it's to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? So this gives the 6th to the 9th hour, there was darkness. So that would put, if the day started in the evening at 6 p.m., then the 6th hour would be midnight. And the 9th hour would be 3 a.m. Does that make sense? No, it does not. So then he died right after that, Matthew 27:50. So yeah, he died right at the end of the 9th hour. So how would that be possible again if the day started in the evening, right? Because they're like the way they claim this is the 6 p.m. would be the start of the 24-hour count period, right? So 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. is a 24-hour period. So when it gives the timestamp in hours, you just count the number of hours from the beginning of that starting point, which they say is evening. Obviously, you're probably already starting to see the errors here. Or would it be 3 p.m. based on a 6 a.m. 24-hour period? Because 9 hours from 6 p.m. from 6 a.m. is 3 p.m., right? Then when it comes to when they took him off the cross, right? This is Matthew 27:57 through 59. When the even was come, which is a term for evening in the King James, there came a rich man. I'm not going to get into all of it, but he begged, for the body of Yeshua from Pilate. So that was at 3 p.m. So if the day ended at 6 p.m., you don't have a whole lot of time to get him off the cross. So Mark 15:42, and now when the even come, because it was the preparation, that is the day before the Sabbath. So this is not Saturday. This is, I think, where the church is screwing up, is they think he died on Friday. No, that's wrong. He died on a Wednesday because Thursday was Passover. And it's actually the wrong Passover. Passover is actually always on a Tuesday. So they had to take him down because of this. So in Deuteronomy, there's a law that states, cursed is a man who hangs on a pole or a tree overnight. So according to the Hebrew customs, they had to take him down before the nighttime, before the evening came. Otherwise, it would have been a curse, and the people didn't want to be under that, right? So they had to take him down before the evening. So he died at 3 p.m., and they took him down before the evening so that they wouldn't fall under this. So I'm just going through my notes here. I don't think. I'm just trying to see if I had all my notes together on this. Now, does it make more sense that if the day begins at dawn, 6 a.m., the sixth hour was noon, and he died at close to the ninth hour, or 3 p.m.? Then he was taken down because evening was drawing close. It was the day before Passover. So if you do the time stamps on this, right? If the day starts at the sixth hour, and in another one of the parts of this conversation, it actually talks about they apprehended him at daybreak. That was 6 a.m. By 9 a.m. he was tried, and he was found guilty. And then at the sixth hour, which was noon, he was crucified. I think that's how it played out. I can't remember exactly the time stamps. But he was crucified, and there was... so he was crucified at 9. That's what it was. He was apprehended at 6 a.m. He was found guilty, put on the cross at 9 a.m., and was there from 9 to 12. And from 12 to 3 p.m., there was darkness. Now, if you did this from an evening time stamp, you've got the, what is it? The third hour, the sixth hour, and the ninth hour. So if that was the case, that means he was apprehended at 6 p.m., which is when the day starts, according to the evening people. That thinks the day starts in the evening. He'd have been apprehended at 6 p.m. He was tried at the third hour, which would have been 9 o'clock. Then from midnight to 3, there would have been darkness in the land. And then they took him down at 3 a.m. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense, does it? Why would they even say they apprehended him at daybreak if the day started in the evening, and then gave timestamps based off of daybreak? Do you see how much this makes sense? It's everybody inherently knows when the day starts inside. Nobody has to teach them that. They have to learn and go against what their natural programming is to believe that the day starts in the evening. Like children know when the day starts. Ask them. Birds and animals know when the day starts. You see them. They wake up and they start chirping and they start doing all their stuff. Like all of creation knows when the day begins. You have to program yourself against your natural inclination for the day start in the evening. So think about this. Just think about this stuff, right? The timestamps given do not make sense on a 6 p.m. evening start of a day, because that would have put him being crucified at nighttime. How does that work? If the day starts in the evening, how does it work when they give timestamps of hours? It doesn't. So hopefully this kind of sheds a little bit of light on the subject and brings some clarity and understanding to the fact that the day begins at dawn. The Sabbath is dawn to dawn, 6 a.m. to 6 a.m., Saturday to Sunday, not this Babylonian tradition the Jews picked up in Babylon while they were in captivity, because that's what the evening is. The evening start of a day is a Babylonian tradition because it's the exact opposite of what the Creator made. Isn't that what Satan's always trying to do, is do the exact opposite of God in his own way, mimicking God's order of things? So think about this.